Hello friends, welcome back to another set of playoffs in ESL Challenger League. And you know what, of course, we're getting them all done, all over the regions in the scene at the moment. And now we need to hop over to South America. Of course, I've got Neo alongside me once again. He's been, I think, in two other separate regions already today, in Asia and Europe. So he's been around the block. Now we have Imperial versus inSanitY to cast our eyes over tonight.
Yeah, myself and Trav, we just wrapped up I Am Rio. Now we're going back to somewhere near Rio, I'm assuming, as we get things ready for this little bit of a Brazilian derby here in the ESL Challenger League South America. Should be pretty exciting, of course. Probably all eyes are primarily on Imperial, just the back of Rio. Didn't go all too well, but they're still seen as one of the scarier side, specifically in this region as well. So we'll have to see about what they can sort of bring to the table and how they can kind of showcase themselves as a team who deserve a deep playoff run. Of course, we've already seen throughout the regular season teams like Pain and MIBR look pretty solid and showcase what they've got. Imperial did have moments where they lagged behind. We even saw some of the kind of the bigger teams at times as well also kind of dip out and not look as clean. I think Red Cannons were up and down, especially on paper. That team looked incredible. So I don't know. We're looking in towards this with the two sort of Pro League spots on the line. There's a lot to fight for, I think, is the main thing. For us, of course, we did our one expect talent predictions coming towards us of who we think is going to win this season, and we're both pretty confident. We're going with Pain for us. I mean, they had a really good season. 24 wins, 6 losses. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I think 2 of those 6 losses as well were when they, I think, just forfeited 2 games because they'd already confirmed top spot over the course of the entire season.
Yeah.
I think at one point when they were actually, of course, trying their best, they were, I think, 18-0 or 19-0 at some point before they finally had a loss, right? There was a few weird losses maybe at the end to like Fluxo and stuff like that, but it doesn't really matter. They finished first, which is all that mattered, and they get that bye into the next round of the playoffs, of course. And we think that, obviously this is for the main win for the best of 5 final, which is our prediction at the main winner. But yeah, one of these 2 teams to make it through. If it's not Pain, it will be very, very surprising, I think. If as we're looking at the bracket, which I believe we can bring up now, of course, we've got probably the 2 or 3 other teams we really want to look to is Imperial, MIBR, and Red Canids. So I think for me, Pain has to be one of those 2. If it's not, with how their world ranking is right now, it would be a big surprise.
Yeah, and especially when we look at this bracket here, you can see Pain skip around, dude. They don't even have to play in this first round. So they're going to be playing on the winner of this Imperial inSanitY game that, of course, we're going to be covering. But it does make things quite interesting, right? Because for Pain, they get a moment to sit back and watch and see, right, who are we going to be facing, where the weaknesses, where their strengths, what are we going to go for to try and give us the best chance to make it towards the upper bracket final. Already for Pain, they are 2 best of 3s away from guaranteeing a spot in Pro League. It's as simple as that. You make it to the grand final, you are in Pro League. So I think that is a thing. Granted, we don't really know what Pro League's going to look like all too much, so we can't say that with a little bit of a loose term, but so far that's generally because how things have gone. This is our game, Imperial taking on inSanitY, and we've touched on Imperial a little bit. We can talk a little bit about inSanitY as well, and there's not as much to talk about these guys. I've cast them a couple of times this season. They're okay. There's a few players who I think have been around that some people might know. I think Delboni, he was around for a little while. SHZ as well, he's been around for a bit of a while, and he at one point made a bit of a name for himself as well. He's a pretty crisp guy. Cassin's probably another name that some people might know, and then I guess IDK. These guys who have been around the like tier 2 to tier 3 Brazilian scene, and for those who are a little bit more in the know might have heard of these guys, but I think internationally they've got nowhere near as much favor as Imperial, so they come in as the pretty big underdogs here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they did at least finish the season going, positive. They had 17 wins, 13 losses. They came 7th in the regular season. So, I think the main thing that is a good thing for this inSanitY team, unfortunately, of course, as you can see, we both are predicting Imperial to win, which is the expected result you'd think. But just to touch on inSanitY a little bit more, like, you were absolutely spot on with what you said. The four-man core, as it were, of Delboni, IDK, SHZ, and Fasten, I believe. They've been plying their trade in like tier 2 Brazil, and been in many, many different teams in Brazil for like almost 8 years, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. So they've been around for a really long time. I mean, I looked at it before we went live. Delboni used to play for the old Imperial before they rebranded to the, what was obviously back then the Last Dance team, when the Imperial really came back properly. He's been a part of Corinthians, Flamingo, like quite a lot of those teams which are really well known. INTZ back in the day too. IDK likewise, Team One, as well as Paqueta as well for a little bit.
Yes.
Lots of other well-known names. And yeah, I think the only one that is relatively newer is Cassin, right? Of course, only 22. So he spent quite a long time in Pain set up in their academy and their main roster. So there's some really good name value in Brazil here in this roster. It's probably like that. There's a reason they're in playoffs because they've got so much experience across the five.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, of course. Our Academia player to watch, of course, coming towards this game is inSanitY. I mean, this is a guy who has looked incredible for a long, long time for this side, but I think obviously he's been making a big name for himself. It was him and No Way who came out of nowhere, one being a streamer, the other being this youngster who nobody really knew who they actually were, not outside of the Brazilian scene at the very least. Especially, No Way being that streamer, it was kind of a wild thing. Potentially came through, and he's sort of just taken the world by storm, right? I mean, you've got top players who are talking about this guy being incredible, and he had his stints, right? He was on that Fury Academy team for a while. He had a kind of couple of stints there where I think that's probably where he primarily made a name for himself, then got the call up towards Plano before that project sort of died after a little bit of time, and of course came in towards his Imperial setup. And even when he came in towards Imperial, it was still like, what is he actually going to bring to the table? Is this going to be somebody who can actually play on an international stage? And now we know that the answer is absolutely yes. He's incredible, very, very talented, mechanically super, super crisp. So this makes it quite an interesting sort of player to keep an eye on for, because you're just always expecting big stats out from him.
Yeah, and of course we did see some of that. At Rio, of course, they were a late replacement for Rare Atom, who couldn't make it due to visa issues, which obviously always makes it hard for the late replacement team. It's very, very rare that a replacement team really goes deep in an event because they just haven't really prepared because they weren't expecting to be there, right? At least it was nice for Imperial to be there. But they got demolished by Na'Vi, as you'd expect. At least they did something against Complexity. They actually pushed Complexity relatively far, probably a bit further than we thought in the series. So, at least fair play on that one. We have the Veto coming in, of course, at the bottom of our screens right now. We've got inSanitY picking Inferno, a Dust 2 pick from Imperial. And actually, Dust 2, the fact that they get that is their most successful map in recent times, and actually their most played in recent times for Imperial. Dust 2 seems to be a very popular pick for a lot of South American teams and the scene in general right now. And if we need it, we will go to Mirage. So Imperial get two of their best maps. inSanitY get their best map, at least. I mean, it'll be really tough to say, I think, if they take one here, because just the quality difference and the ranking difference, everything is against them. But there's a world in which Inferno could go their way and we could go to a third, but anything other than an Imperial win here would be a massive surprise.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way, these sides have played 8 maps against each other so far this year, and Imperial haven't lost one of them. So all the expectations are with Imperial to take this quite lightly, and especially considering when you've got the other side of things of even that Inferno pick, you talk about kind of Dusty being their co-most played. Inferno is also part of their co-most played as well. They played 16 times alongside that Nuke too. So you come in towards this and you look at that and say, this is actually a pretty good map as well for Imperial. They've picked up some semi-decent wins on that Inferno in the sort of the semi-recent past. I mean, even I look back to kind of Pro League when they took that Miles on it, right? So, I mean, you got that under their belt. And for me, I'm looking at that for Imperial. If we can, tap in towards just the raw mechanics of the side. I think also, with Tri coming in towards the team, he's really helped them and elevated them in that AWPing department. And I'm looking to Imperial take this as a pretty clean 2-0. I'd be very, very surprised if inSanitY got a map. I think they'll know that the massive underdogs coming in towards this, but it's not completely out of possibilities, but it would require something quite special, especially considering, like we mentioned, they're yet to get a map so far this entire year against Imperial. So it's not been great. One of them being in overtime, the most recent game in all fairness, but that was a Mirage, and we might not even get towards Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, it actually it's pretty interesting, right? Because they had their sort of closest run against Imperial in that last matchup, in that back-to-back best-of-1 format, and it was Mirage, as you say. But that was part of a current 8-map losing streak on Mirage. Yeah. And their results on it lately have been, well, abhorrent, really. Like, they lost a solid 13-3, Fluxo 13-3, Bestia 13-5, Sharks 13-6. They're not even getting close to these sort of tier 2, tier 3 Brazilian teams, right? So it's a worry. It's a worry if it does go there. It should be Imperials every day of the week. And yeah, obviously inSanity have that experience, but Imperial have that experience now. I mean, even though some of these players are pretty young, like you say, Dissentia and Nowhere pretty new to the scene in a way. It would be surprising, I guess.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Try as well. I want to see him play well because, in my eyes, I still think Henny is just as good, if not better. So I need to see more from Try and more consistency, especially in these playoffs.
Well, that's exactly that. We're going to go to a little short break before we get underway in towards our game. So sit tight and hopefully we'll be live very, very soon.
The opening exchanges of playoffs for ESL Challenger League in South America. I'm looking forward to seeing if Imperial can deliver. They're up against inSanity, it's Inferno, and look at all that utility inSanity have got out in this pistol.
All right, let's see what we've got. So I'm looking forward to this, though. This should be a game that offers up quite a bit, I'm hoping, at the very least. We shall see. Seaside starts, of course, for Imperial coming through. And we do want to see whether they can continue to set that tone as they have in this series time and time again. Phelps, first contact, trying to step there. He doesn't want to stick around. He's the only one towards B. If he falls, B side's open. They've gamble stacked A.
And they have a full execute for this. So Phelps,
I like this.
He's got a lot on his plate right now. The native pick up on the smoke. That's a great strategy from inSanity. Love this call. And it's going to completely lock Imperial out of the play because they still have one more resmoke on IDK as well. Double setup in Banana. What a shot from nowhere. But it is a bait setup for Cassin. It looks like it could be checked. Oh, it's not being checked. Cassin's got an opportunity, but it's only one. 3v3. Bomb is only just down. Fastin's caught in no man's land. Now, IDK and Delboni have a lot to do in this 2 versus 3. There is one. Now, Trident essentially have to force their way forward. It's going to be too difficult for that, though, I think. Yes, retaking on Inferno, we know how difficult it can be, and Try is looking for some kill reward or to save his Kevlar. I think he'll now go for the latter.
Yeah, might stick around for an exit kill or two here. Just the one. Delboni sees him off. Yeah, Gurstal coming through. Interesting call to gamble stack. They've obviously read something in this side when they've done, you know, prep and demo reviewing or whatever coming in towards this, because there's no way you're gamble stacking quad A if you don't have some sort of inkling of why. Or, you know, they like to go A traditionally when we play them in scrims or whatnot. Doesn't pay off, doesn't work out. And yeah, maybe an unfortunate thing. You know, it's one of the things always easy to say in hindsight, but just a default setup probably would have done you a world of good then.
Pretty crazy that inSanity, you know, they invested all that utility, and I think it's fair to say, often when on a pistol round, you can get caught and that utility just gets dropped and there's nothing you can use it for, and it feels like it's completely useless. I feel like every single piece of util there was very useful for inSanity in that pistol round, especially the nade to break open that smoke to get them in toward that B site. And already, the round following against the 4-spy for Imperial, we've got a 5v3 off the bat thanks to SHZ and Fasten.
You know how I feel about these 4 spies, right, on the on the CT side. A couple of them earlier today, and they had 0 success. So it just continues to lean in towards my narrative, and I think this one might be more of the same. Delboni holding. This should be the easiest kill of his life, and it will get it unscathed. And so with this round, very simply taken round there for inSanity. And the fact that it was a 4-spy means Imperial are going to be strapped for cash going forward. This next round probably not going to amount to too much. I think we should be saving the scout in 5-7.
Well, he's trying to look for some exit kills, knowing that they're going to have 3 USPs around them, as you said. It'd be nice to have something. inSanity are going hunting a little bit with the MAC-10 at least. Try the scout. Good flash, good tag. He's got 4 players to face now. If he gets one more kill, it would be pretty nice actually. He's doing decent damage, but it's like 1 is all he's going to get. You realise, ooh, it comes through right at the end, but inSanity do manage to keep 4 alive, which is of course very handy. Don't go too aggressive there, knowing they need to build up their money up first. So, Imperial, what can they do? Where do you set up the scout in 5-7?
That's the big question. I think it might just be one of those things where it's like a standard setup of the scout in towards mid, potentially, and just trying to fight out from there, and then they're going to try and get that 5-7 active a little bit in towards Banana, hopefully try and catch somebody off guard and get a gun. There's maybe something to work with. Scout is in towards mid, but doesn't really get anything off the rip. And yeah, essentially caught early. This should be a very simple round. It's going to be a very simple round. It would be very surprising if it wasn't. Oh, no way. That's quick, though. That's very quick. Fair play.
P250 gets their jiggle and a headshot. Massive off angle, actually, from Vinny and Banana. I say massive. I mean, it's very common to play there, but sometimes you don't expect a player to be there on that off angle at that timing in the round. So he gets his one as well. There's an AK in play for Phelps now, and he has Kevlar still.
Is this on?
This could be on, because Try is still healthy as well. He's scouting around long, quite literally, so he has kind of control of the map in a way, because they are coming his way. Still lots of utility on inSanity, though, so they just get past this angle, get the trades in, that's the way forward, but Delboni, he had a smoke, and he had a flash, and he doesn't use either, and that is going to punish him. Try running and gunning with this scout, being an absolute nuisance right now, jiggling back and forth, can't get one more tag. But now Caston is kind of down to him. No way stuck in pit with the pistol still. And he will get taken down. And unlucky for Phelps, he gets immediately headshot. And obviously, as he doesn't have a helmet, he gets basically gooshed in a way. And it aim punches his aim to the sky. And the trade will come through comfortably. So inSanity do get their 3-0.
Yeah. That's the start we wanted to see. But now we get the buy-in plays. Vinny, he's gone in towards the org. We know he likes it. I like it as well. Gun still goes hard. Still underrated, IMO. But
agree.
This has got to be a very decent round coming through from this inSanity side, just because from the Imperial side, I say, because inSanity are looking really, really strong. I mean, they're actually playing some pretty decent Counter-Strike. They're feeding in towards this side relatively well, and it is getting just a tad concerning. Trade nades there, but a lot more damage done towards No Way.
So later Molly, top Banana to ward Phelps away. One of the most important players, I feel like, for Imperial on this map has been Phelps in recent times. When he has a good game, Imperial feel very comfortable on Inferno. Of course, the old meme, the old saying, Vinferno, hasn't gone away. Also a bit of a specialist sometimes, it felt like, but maybe not necessarily in the modern day. It was more during the Furia time that was attributed to him. Essentially, on the long corner, is he aware? There's a couple of players coming his way, and one already close up. Good pre-aim. He'll take Fasting down, and now Vinny is here for support on that org. They can peek up each other's contact here, even with the flash. Should be a multi-kill. Oh, it's only one. And of course, they know he's still in the corner, and essentially didn't peek fast enough, really. It would have been a trade for sure, I reckon, because IDK's 1 HP. 3v3.
The play all goes eerily quiet, doesn't it? Where are we going in this spot? Out towards short. Tiny looking as well. Time ticking there first. 15 seconds. We've got to go. Oh, good shot. Try. Gets caught. No, wait. Good for one. Good for the second as well. One above him, one below. He doesn't know where to look. And it's all down to Phelps. On for that big rotate. He has got a decent timing here, but he's being cleared. He's being checked. And inSanity put up yet another great round. Okay, Inferno is looking and feeling pretty good at the moment. And Imperial, I wouldn't even mind them taking potentially a little bit of a pause.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit out of hand early game. There's definitely a few bits and pieces of misinformation, maybe miscommunication as well for Imperial there. I was very surprised that essentially didn't swing sooner when he was playing for Vinny contact. I don't think he was as blind as Vinny. I think it was relatively equal. Vinny had his vision. Should have guaranteed the kill on IDK. No, there were some trades. It's an all-important kill, all-important trade on No Way. They left the site open. Very difficult when you've got one player above and one player below, as you mentioned, and don't do any more other than the one. So, in control of the economy, in control of the game, are inSanity. They know how important this game is for them. Obviously, they're not obviously in many different leagues around the Brazilian scene. They are, but this is where it really matters when you've got Pro League on the line.
It is true. This is the big one, isn't it? Getting that Pro League spot is sort of what everybody looks towards with this competition. Smoke down, Vinny. Behind it. Spam through the smoke. Doesn't do anything because he's not up to Pete just yet. He's waiting for any sort of a sound cue, essentially. And he knows that off the back of his smoke, they're not going to go dry through theirs. Vinny, though, he's He's playing really up close, so any flash, he'll avoid, but that smoke fades and he's just a sitting duck.
Wow. It's looking really clean for inSanity at the moment. Phelps should have probably got that kill. Doesn't. Essentially's aim was pretty good there, but it's a FAMAS after all. He only gets 1 and, well, 96 damage, I think, on SHZ. So, bomb site taken, 4v2. Imperial probably just looking for some aggressive exits here. They don't need to save the Deagle and P250. So you may as well go and look for something. Take a few guns away from the T side. I think we've got a full rotation coming around from Try to maybe look for a different position. He's kind of shown his face already. And there you go. That's the first piece of damage. With the Deagle. Looking for one more, but okay, she's safe at the back of the site. He's struggling a little bit to deal with No Way, but more damage that No Way does means that IDK might go down with the bomb, and he will just go straight down to the kill anyway. Lovely shot. So it does limit inSanity's money a little bit. Is there a gun blown toward No Way?
No.
Pick up? I don't think so.
Oh,
he got it!
Got it. Yeah,
Nice.
got the AK. I kind of thought the round time I might be a little bit short at the tail end there, but no, yeah, he will get it. We are finally going to see that pause come through, though, from this Imperial side, who are looking relatively dreadful. Not dreadful, but it's just not being great.
For their standard.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's a really tough spot. I think it's just the simple way about it. 5-0 for inSanity. And obviously they've picked in towards this map with an idea and what we're going to do to try and make this work. But nobody expected this. I think is probably the way we're sort of building this narrative. This is an incredibly good showing out from inSanity. They're not really pulling any punches. But it's not really that inSanity are playing so incredible. It's just that Imperial are playing so bad at the moment. And
Yeah.
it's making us kind of question what is going on here. And hence why I'm glad they get this pause out. What, in the grand scheme, it's pretty early. You don't even head into the 6th round, but they definitely need to just say, lads, what are we actually doing here?
Been multiple mistakes in terms of just timings on peeking off each other's contacts and stuff. I mean, I'm still thinking about that one round on long where this actually just doesn't swing. Maybe, obviously, from his POV, maybe it looked a little bit different. Maybe he was more blind than he was, or that he looked, but yeah, crazy. Double incendiary, not immediately in Banana, just a little bit later as they try and retake it. They clear out Tree, they clear out the left corner. So, Phelps boosted on half wall, tight line, beautiful headshot. And now 4 away with the 5 versus 4. They look at each other and say, what next? And they'll rotate one player off.
Okay, so No Way posted pit. Awesome. Yeah, gets that freebie basically because of the way they were set up. They were looking for fights to come to them, but it doesn't actually work in their favor. I'm going to drop a smoke in case he needs to dip away, but another Molotov, they don't, and Vinny makes a move in towards Shaw. In behind, speaking of a Molotov, it tickles the toes in towards the partner. That's probably the round. That's it.
Yeah, Vinny, that was a great play to make. They knew they were already in an advantage, so went for something a little bit more aggressive. Nice little jiggle pick there from Cassin to realize where Vinny's playing from. Trying to keep this AWP alive at this point. The whole 25 seconds to try and keep that AWP alive, and now Cassin could be about to get launched upon, and there we go. Vinny jumps in for that one too. Bit more assertive there from Imperial, a bit more aggressive. They realise, listen, boys, we're the better team. Why are we just sitting back and letting inSanity execute upon us and basically execute us? So, yeah, there you go. Aggressive and Banana. No Way jiggles out the first. Goes straight for the peak without even needing a flash from a teammate. And Vinny puts himself in a really nice position to not just get that one, but take the AWP out of their hands as well. It can be repurchased, but the rounds have been pretty close. So this is actually inSanity's last purchase.
Yeah. Well, here's what for them. They don't find this round. Yeah, money broken. An opportunity for Imperial. Phelps. I'll keep it then. He's just going to go aggro off the back of this. Not close. Hey, good damage. He's going to tuck his head. I like this from Phelps. They might just not expect the sheer audacity out from him. And with the long-range peppering that's coming from Cornwall, he might be an oversight here. He holds, he waits, and Mac 10 walks straight into him. There's one. Looks for another. Smoke going to come down as well. Flash over. Doesn't do enough. And it's great work. Gets support. Beautiful from Try. And Vinny, with his org, top Banana does great.
10 times better from Imperial. That was so nice. where they played that. Phelps, that's a bit dumb to walk through the bottom banana smoke. You do need to keep you need to keep building up your money. It's not like it's the last few rounds of the half yet, but you know what? That was really good. He's got his 2. Phelps. He's doing his job in the round, and that late flash assist that came through from Try. Did you notice that the last second to help out that second kill while Vinny was spamming down toward the bottom of banana with the AUG as well? That was well, that couldn't have been timed any better.
Well, yeah, it will just be that safe for primarily the AWP, but also this Galil, just because we touched on it. Money's not great, and I like this call to Hun. Why not? Nothing to lose, but it's just about whether they find the AWP. Actually, he said in his Galil that can stay alive, but yeah, Vinny slipped the net here. Oh yeah, Cassin could be in trouble. Time is ticking. Vinny, if he looks right, no, I don't think he's going to get there in time. Cassin's just tucked away far enough. So Vinny won't clear it out, and they are very lucky to keep it all in play.
Yeah, if he went down, he would have had $250 in the bank as well, with no weapon. So, obviously, he had to shift. Here's the flasher system I was talking about. I think it's going to come in about 3, 2, 1. There. Right at the very last second as well. Because Delboni, 1, knew where he was, and 2, was going to pre-fire it. But yeah, I think that's one thing Try has been very good on. I don't know the stats exactly, so I'm not going to say this is an absolute fact. But just from the pure eye test, I know that's a meme to say that, but from the pure eye test, I think Try's flash assists have been a lot higher and a lot more impactful than I've ever seen from Henny on this team thus far.
Yeah. You're probably not wrong. It's good, though, as well, because it's one of the things that you notice once you head into the pro level is that the people who are arguably the best or one of the best on every single team when it comes towards utility is the AWPers. It's actually one of their main roles, and it's good that Try has got that about him. Sometimes you get AWPers who are, semi-selfish in the way, and they want a lot of util used for them, but their main job is to facilitate the riflers. And it's something that he's very, very good at.
I'm digging a bit deeper right now.
Go
on.
There's
a utility. Obviously, these days on HLTV, we've got a utility stat, haven't we?
Yeah.
All these little extra numbers that you can use. As I say, this round should be all right. So I'll just
they're flanking them in towards short, so you'll be fine. Crack on.
Okay, crack on. So in 2024. Try's flash assists per round and flashes thrown per round are 0.08 and 0.71.
Okay.
Henny's are 0.09 and 0.85. So I'm wrong.
Ah, there you go. There you go. The more you know. Oh, speaking of, Try, hello. Oh, he's let the bomb go down. Oh, no. He's died. What is going on? It's a 3 versus 3. There's an AWP now picked up. Oh, hell no. If they convert a low buy, this is a dire round. Vinny trying to bet a shot here. They know the AWP's here. Oh, shot from Delboni. But essentially in for the trade. This round is still on. There's another AWP in play for Cassin. And Cassin's got the right idea. But it's Fastin who's going to find the first. I can't believe we're talking about this, but it's a 1v2. And it's probably inSanity who are about to win a low no buy. There's one. Tap on towards the bomb, but he has to stick it ultimately. Gas is playing the time, and it's the round. Done.
Wow.
Cassin might fall to the bomb here, but no, it's essentially Cassin alive. How have inSanity made that round stick?
I can't believe that. I mean, as we were speaking about, we thought there was no risk in that round whatsoever. I was sort of digging in to see if I was right about my flash stats. Phelps is in such a great position. He's got them locked in. And in the end, because they lose the AWP, Try, that is a big mistake that he's made. I feel like just not being... Obviously, you don't want to maybe be as aggressive when you know maybe it's a low buy and you could just get run down. But I feel like he was a little bit more assertive there. He can take down the bomb planter before he sort of even gets set up to go for that plant. That relaxes everything after that. He tries to go for a different angle, gets destroyed by a pistol again. That puts the AWP in the hands of inSanity. And it spirals from there. Can you believe it? And 6-2, that's guaranteed at least a tie on the half for inSanity. But it looks like Imperial are on the recovery trail. They still are. They've answered back immediately in the following round with an early 5v3, but inSanity will take that freebie of a round, gifted to them in a way, every day of the week.
It's tough, to say the least, of where losing a round like that just gives inSanity the guarantee, you know, that bare minimum of a tied game come towards that second half, and even that alone isn't bad. Very quiet though. The 3 remaining for inSanity. I don't know if they actually give this a go as well, just because of their long-term econ. They might actually just say, yeah, let's just save. And the way they're setting up, I think that might even be the case. Unless it's going for a late banana play, but I think they're just calling for a save here. So it's basically a minute long save, more or less.
I know. That's what Inferno can be like sometimes. Yes, sir. Weird one, but Imperial will be happy with an immediate bounce back considering the round previous. Considering how much of a mess that was. inSanity realised that with their money, kind of has been back and forth. It's never been built up. Even when they were 5-1 up, it was never built up when they were on that last buy. Obviously, those saved wins in the end did help, but a nod from Phelps says they're back to just 3 behind.
Okay, well, we do need to see a bit of consistency. I think if we get a 6-all, it's where Imperial have done a good enough job to recover, but I don't know, it still feels very weird. Imperial don't quite look like themselves, I think, is the main thing at the moment. They're very scrappy in terms of some of the games that we've kind of been seeing from them, and yeah, it has been quite uncomfortable viewing at times. A lot more needed before I have the idea of how I'm going to get this side of Imperial to be able to take a map, take the series as they're sort of expected to do.
Trawi flashes the angle on long. He will re-flash against Cassin. It's a battle of the flashes with the AWPers. Flash into the angle, take a peek, and vice versa. AMERICA is quite far up toward the apartments here, and the setup for Imperial is pretty good toward the A side. There's a chance to maybe catch one if they don't necessarily aware that he's already pushed so far up. Of course, no one's looking at it to see if someone actually jumps out, but the angle could maybe catch a player toward long. This jump spot is being looked at by Cassin. The Molotov will push that jump spot away. So 50 seconds. There is that incendiary that said actually won't take a tag to, and he's actually got a little bit of space to move behind it. That's how bad incendiaries are in CS2. Essentially will walk forward as well towards short to try and get some more information, because I don't think they really are aware of what inSanity are planning here. 40 seconds left in the round. We've got 4 toward banana, and that little lurk from SHZ could have something to say.
This is a big play up here. Phelps, first orange. 25 seconds, but making a move now. That smoke couldn't have been timed better, in all honesty. Phelps will play behind it. IDK! He snuck through. And Phelps is just following him, but it will cost him his life. And that's an M4 also picked up, but we're doubling back towards A. Try for the first. Oh my god, SHZ. Big kill for him. And another one towards Delboni. We have time for the bomb plot. It's 1v2.
Oh, he's trying to rush him down, but oh no, he thinks the bomb's planted somewhere else. But he can defuse. He can defuse. It's fine. No worries. I have no idea what's happening here. Is IDK even going to get there close enough? He's not, no. What a that has to be one of the most ridiculous rounds in Challenger League this season. I mean, goodness gracious me. Love Counter-Strike. It delivers random moments like this all the time. What rounds that aren't replicable to any others. Just so many layers to that as well. The fact that, you know, Try even wins that. I was just about to bemoan how whiffy those A1S sprays were on the site, right? How they just couldn't hold that down, even though they had a decent setup for that rotation back toward A. Goodness me. Well, Try made up for that previous mistake that he made a few rounds ago on B at least.
Well, was a bit weird and a bit scrappy, but a round getting taken is really all that matters. It's a quicker one here. Half by-ish. Of course, AWP in play, and a Galil too. Try. 1, looks for 2 as well. If I can get it, oh, he's getting rushed down, but he has support and Try. It's a nice flick. Imperial up to 5. Okay. This is something, Trav. Thankfully, this actually feels like a true recovery.
Yeah, I think now they'll be fine. If it got to like an 8-4 half for inSanity or something like that when they were 5-1 up, I think they would have been thinking, this is possible, guys. Get like an 8-4. I would say they might be set up for the map, but even if Imperial lose the second half pistol, they're going to be in the game. So this has been a nice little recovery. And actually, that round from try could prove to be pretty imperative, that recovery on A there. Huge clutch, realising the situation. Phelps pushing down. Oh, great counter flash this time. He's had great damage to a banana this game, has Phelps. But no flash support for him. It's only Phelps getting flashed this time around with a nice assist from Cassin on that occasion. So, inSanity, but essentially will reface. He's looking for more. There are now 3 towards top banana to fight for Imperial. Lots of the utility is rotating in, and they've still got one player stuck toward tree. Cassin might have to just peek top mid drive, but little angle from no way. Could see him over the corner of it. Great check.
Vinny, speaking of, he's moving his way down, but IDK holding it towards under here. I don't know if Vinny's going to clear this. If I'm being completely honest, he's probably dead. IDK, have a little look. There's a freebie for you, and he'll take it. 2 remaining. The Senshi try. Got to pull off something quite masterful here. On for free, and oh my god, he does get tagged. And he volleys himself to make it even better. So this is Counter-Strike in its truest of forms. And now he's all that's left. They know exactly where he is. Not happening, fella. Last man. He probably just gets killed by IDK here, but he's waiting for Exis. I guess save the KD. He knows this one is not on the cards. He adds another kill to his tally. And that'll be that 5-7 Imperial. Slight deficit at the half. We'll see if they can recover it after the break.
Bit of a silly and goofy first half between inSanity and Imperial. Imperial losing to an eco they should have never lost to. Imperial winning a clutch thanks to try that inSanity shouldn't have probably let slip. But now we're going over to the second half. inSanity on CT side. For me, Imperial on the T side now, they should still be the favourites even at this slight deficit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the expectation at the very least. But yeah, a bit of a weird, just general half of Counter-Strike. It was quite odd. It just didn't go as expected in the sense that Imperial looked very, very rough. However, I think they did a good job of recovering is the main thing. Actually, Zed, he spotted one in towards second mid. I want to say he spotted two, maybe. One on the right side, one on the deep left. But as that's the case, we will see Phelps in towards apartments here. It's a bit of a long stack, Vinny. Oh, hang on. I don't know if he spotted that guy towards long. Yeah, he'll die. Now they dive out of apartments. SAZ on towards the site with a second. That's a quick shot as well. He looks for a third. He's running out of ammo. He might get run down by Phelps. It's scrappy, but he will. Looking for more. Try and get up on plant. Phelps trying to give a bit of coverage, and it's actually Try who falls. Phelps, 1v3. Not going to be Del Boney. Nice round coming out from him, but another very weird one from Imperial.
Yeah, I mean, Phelps knows he has to fight. Like, I get it. Like, he needs to bring it back into a more even scenario, but... And obviously, as well, him fighting toward long is maybe aiding his teammate to jump down and maybe get a plant as well. But... in the end, he couldn't stay alive long enough, couldn't hit the extra headshot that would have been necessary. And Imperial are struggling. I said even if they lost the pistol and went down like 10-5, they'd still be in the game on T side, because I do trust in their T side. But this has been not good from Imperial in basically the entirety of the game thus far. A quick tech pause coming in here, I believe. Of course, no plant for Imperial, so we're expecting a eco. There's what they're going to put forth. Just a PT-15 of smoke on Phelps. inSanity will now buy up. So you said we'll go for the A1S in the end, with no util. All his util inSanity will require are on his teammates. So this should be 9-5. And the gun's coming out for Imperial and a 4-round deficit, so plenty of work to do.
Yeah, that's for sure. I really do feel like they look and feel quite uncomfortable at the moment. Vinny, first of all, Fasting shouldn't have any issues here. Even, I was going to say, even the element of surprise, he actually does fall a little flat. Oh my god! Save SAZ, what is happening here? Really weird fights, but now got a double. And bomb plant. They're just going to plant right in the middle of them. I don't think it will lead to a round, but it's better than nothing.
Well, a kill coming through on the MP9, which is handy. They could easily get one more from that angle, but IDK says no more of that madness. And the round is finally put to bed. Not as clean as inSanity would have wanted, but it's the fact they won it with at least a majority alive is all that matters. 9-5 confirmed. Plant is good for Imperial. Will afford them a little bit of extra utility, especially on Phelps, as he brought down a little bit more. So, this is where Imperial now need to start delivering. We've seen this quite a lot. It's a relatively common pattern with them. They do seem to prefer the T sides, and they do seem to prefer to work their way back into a game. Of course, they'd prefer themselves to make it a lot easier with a better CT side, but they've done this before. They need to do it again.
Yeah, that's true. Still, I don't know, man. This feels like Imperial are starting to falter here and look quite uncomfortable. I know it's their opponent's map pick, but it's just really been scrappy. I mean, look at Phelps, already down to 4 points of HP. You know, it's one of those, just best of luck in this round when you're that low. A strong gust of wind and he's going to be out of it.
Just needs to be tickled, I'm afraid, already. An all-important round for Imperial as well. They are very close to all the apartments fast, and he did make some noise jumping up. I'm not sure if those little silent jumps could have been heard. But they do make a sort of a sound. You know, there's sort of jumps up with a crouch. His boost isn't used nearly enough, I feel like. But Cassin! Maybe that's why it's not used! Oh my god, he's shut me up quick. That was sick.
That was a lovely shot. It makes it look so easy as well, I think, is the real damning thing about it. A second behind it. Running out of ammo, and he will get a third before he falls. Cast and take a bow. That's a good round. He's probably won the round here. Out and out for inSanity, unless the Saints can pull off something ridiculous. But even that feels like a big ask, especially with, again, how low Phelps has been from the first few seconds of this round.
Goodness gracious. 17 HP between Phelps and inSanity. They'll know that the best idea is to save, especially considering inSanity has a full belt utility. That's actually pretty precious heading into the next round. So it will be 10-5. The first gun round goes their way. And you know what? Farstin pushing here at the Imperial. I don't even mind this, even though he might die. And he doesn't. So that is all that utility I mentioned on the floor. And not just that, he's killed Phelps too after the clock. $50 in the bank. Imperial, my brothers, what are you doing in this game?
Yeah, this team are not taking this serious. Like, there's no way. This is either just one of the worst showings or they are completely checked out. I think they've come in towards this and just thought, right, this is going to be simple, going to be easy, we'll just make light work of this. But, yeah, what is happening? What is happening here? A really, really dire showing. And you know, that's not absolute credit where credit due. inSanity, while it may seem like Imperial aren't taking this seriously, inSanity is thinking, fair enough, we'll take this. If you're not going to try and win this, we will.
I mean, the thing is, right, that there is a lower bracket, like, in the playoffs, obviously. So
why go there, you know what I mean? It's like...
But it's not right, yeah, exactly. It's like, I guess maybe, I think the one thing that I will say, and I'll get back to that because I think the top banana fight is about to come through. Caston has been brilliant in this game. That previous one was stunning from him, and he gets one more. But now his teammate support has been taken down. They're burning, though. Only just gets through the utility to stay alive, and now they know he's so stuck behind second orange, and essentially will catch him. But Farstin is full health on the quick banana rotation. Bomber's actually being planted in the open. He should catch the kill as No Way comes off the plant, but he's just managed to retreat back into dark. Wow, he's lucky. Now Imperial can have essentially No Way peek off the back of each other, and with the bomb, with the AWP, sorry, being picked up, essentially will get that final kill. Quad kill, and a huge quad kill at that. It seems like that previous round has really switched them on. Whether they can continue it remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's... Again, we kind of saw this in that first half where it was like a response out of them, and it took a bad round to get that response, but... Oh, man, I don't know. I'm still just sort of maybe dwelling a little bit too much on what went wrong, you know, with Phelps dying off the time and all these awkwardnesses, but I guess all I care about is if they can make a bit of a run at the tail end, then potentially there's something to talk about.
This is the round.
Yeah, this is the big one, right? Especially considering with inSanity, they're just so low econ-wise. You've got a double M4, double MP9, and a 5.7. Lose this, and that's that.
If Imperial win this round, it should be 10-8. Maybe even closer, depending on what inSanity decide to do with their money. They'll be completely broken. But this is where it can be awkward when you're up against two MP9s, a 5.7, and a close range map. So easy to get caught off guard. And I like the setup for inSanity. Oh, that was going to be so nice for Phelps, but he gets caught. Unfortunately, I think for inSanity, that might be the only kill they get back because they get a little bit fortunate. Essentially gets his one, was very low off the back of it, does go down. No Way has got his one. He's very low off the back of it. But they do have the man advantage. And even though they did whiff that boost and the opportunity to get that opening kill cleanly toward Banana and on the B side, there should be a path in here.
Boney tries to fight, but AK a little bit better through that wood. Down he goes, 2 versus 3. Numbers not favorable for inSanity. Neither's the guns either. 5.7 will actually pick up an M4, but he's still got a chance to use it. Somehow still alive. Maybe not for much longer. Running out of ammo through the smoke. inSanity win the round. Imperial, we just lost a 3v2 to a pistol.
What are we doing, Imperial? What is going on, my friends? I think they'll be thinking the same thing. I mean, the point I was going to try and make to you earlier, right before the banana fight came through, was I definitely think they are taking it seriously. I mean, it would be wrong of them as a professional team and professional players not to. It's just the fact that they probably thought that inSanity could be a bit of a pushover off the back of their recent form. But inSanity have so much experience as a team. I don't know. I mean, I don't see a world in which Imperial should be concentrating on other things. You know, they've got some other events to worry about, but they're not anywhere near this game. It's just a bad map for them thus far. And it's not often I'm this critical. Like, it's actually just been really poor. So, yeah, it's just been a bit of a shock, I think, to see that. They do have another buy available to them, which obviously could still keep them in the game, but inSanity are 2 away now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been weird, isn't it? Well, I mean, it's such an odd game. Obviously, we know that inSanity have something about them, and we know that they, this is a map in which is a strong part of their pool, but it's just not what we expected coming towards this seriously weird map of Counter-Strike, but for all the wrong reasons for Imperial. And you've got to give a lot of respect where it's due. I think it's that inSanity are punishing them in their big errors and mistakes that they're making. Imperial, once again, moving up towards this B site. IDK and Delboni to meet them. Delboni's out of util. There's a molly and another smoke to work as IDK will get that down.
inSanity on one of their better maps, really proving what they're made of in this one. Maybe be used to block the smoke. Cassin almost does even more great work. Helps them nowhere, taking so much damage, and there's just so many players to get past here for Imperial. Phelps has done well for one, but they're baiting an IDK. That's a great first kill. Then Delboni picks up the contact. Even though Phelps is here, it might be a bit tough for him to do much work. However, inSanity has found Farsin. There is a world where his presence could do something, but 13 seconds to really find something, surely it's just not going to happen. Bomb is dropped front sight. There's IDK doing more work, and run down his Phelps. SHZ is taking no prisoners, and inSanity double the score at 12-6. Their map pick has looked brilliant.
Yeah, absolute credit to them. And who knows what, happens in the rest of this series. We were kind of making a bit of a joke about it and saying that, we're not expecting that map number 3, but I think at this point that might actually be the case. We look towards that Dust 2. It's a very good map for Imperial, but at the same time, I feel like the way inSanity are playing, maybe we can't count them out. Who knows? And this is a side who are ultimately struggling. Oh, the game's not done just yet, but it definitely feels like inSanity are on the road to closing this out. We've got a Mach 10, we got a Tech 9, and we got a Triple Galil to try and keep this side afloat. Good luck. It's not an easy buy to try and wield.
Good util, but look at the lineup. Oh, Farsin just gets a little bit of vision between those two flashes, and it's not enough. You can tell what's coming his way. A lovely spray down. Cassin has been superb in this game. He'll take his as well. Try has been taken down to 50. IDK will have a real 1G come his way, but it's not going to matter. SHZ deals with inSanity and inSanity on their map pick. I'm very, very impressed with that. Fully deserving of that opening map. Sure, Imperial have a lot better results and stats on the upcoming next 2 maps. inSanity have a lot of work on their hands to maybe complete this win, but what a start.
Yeah, it's one of those where we've got to say, we can harp on quite a lot about, where is Imperial and what's going on with this side. But I think we do have to actually give a lot of respect where it's due in saying that is a very, very good map from the inSanity guys. I think they just play solidly all the way throughout as we would want, hope, and expect from them. And the question is now about, can we actually get this quite consistently? Can we go in towards Dust 2 and bring that same level? Because mechanically, they did actually have quite a lot to offer. And if Imperial are having an off day or are looking weak or not quite on the board, let's punish them. Let's see if we can stay alive here in this kind of tournament and try and make as deeper a run as we can in the upper bracket.
One person that wasn't missing for Imperial was inSanity. I believe we can have a look at his stats in a moment, because he was our player to watch. At least that was probably the only positive actually for Imperial in that whole game, that inSanity was still performing to the level we know he can. And I think if he keeps it up, Imperial obviously on more favourable maps for them should be absolutely fine. But if Cassin keeps his form up, I really do think there's something to be said for inSanity at least having something to show in the next 2 maps. We are concerned about inSanity's form on them, but we'll see. Essentially stats, as we said, were very decent. I think he ended at 19 and 14 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I think we'll get it up in a moment. But yeah, I think one thing I will mention as well, we have just had a CS update drop from Valve. It's not a big one, but it's a small sort of bug fixy update, so there's a chance maybe it'll take some time for the servers to update and we can get going in map 2. So just a little bit of a warning in case we have a bit of a delay.
Yeah, pre-warning I think is always necessary because it does tend to happen a little bit here in South America. We are going to go to a bit of a break though. Hopefully, a standard break as we normally expect, about 10 minutes, but with the update, you never know. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll see you soon.
Impressive stuff from inSanity, but a big question mark over Imperial's form from what we've seen on that opening map of Inferno. Sure, it was inSanity's pick, but Imperial have been a big players of Inferno for a long time, and they've been on different levels with inSanity, so it's a bit of a shock that the first map went as comfortably as it did in inSanity's favour. However, this is where Imperial should now realise, okay, this is a bit of a random result here. Time to put our foot down. We've got 2 maps here which we're very good on. Let's get the accelerator going. Let's get into the next gear.
Yeah, first time this calendar year that Imperial dropped a map to inSanity, and it took up until the 9th map for it to work. But I mean, it was just one of the games of all time, and not in a good way. It was so odd. I don't really know what we've just seen. It was very scrappy, very unorthodox, very uncomfortable Counter-Strike from Imperial, from basically everybody, bar the Senshi. I mean, Senshi, he had his moments where he looked pretty clean, but I mean, everybody else was so uncomfortable. So, I don't know. It needs to be a completely different change, I think, is the main thing kind of coming in towards this, because, you know, you've got multiple different facets of where inSanity were looking good. Obviously, we kind of spoke about kind of Cassim, for example. He was just looking so crisp. Some of the shots he was hitting was insane. But IDK as well, I put up some really good numbers, going 18 and 12, 1.69 rating. So, yeah, very solid stuff coming through from them. So we're heading towards our map number 2, to Dust 2. And while statistically very heavily weighted over towards Imperial, inSanity just looked so much better. So I feel like we really can't kind of count them out just yet.
Yeah, I don't think that is a crazy statement at all. Let's see if they can do anything on CT side Dust 2, though. This is where Imperial do some of their best work. We've had the server change from the CS update that just dropped. Just a couple of bug fixes overall.
Nice and quick as well.
So a nice quick turnaround, exactly.
Yeah, sometimes we get stuck when an update is right in the middle of an ECL broadcast. So always good to see. Always good to see for us. Slow round though. Very slow by Imperial. Information play. Looking for something to work with, but for now, not a lot on the cards. First fight, probably going to be this one. Senshi. What's he got for us? He obviously had a pretty decent first map. The only one is pretty decent. So we need to see something a little special from him.
In long corner, lovely opening tap, and I think that actually might have been through Try as well, or through the corner of it, because Try took a lot of damage as one bullet was hit, and Yaboni will hit that extra headshot, but Imperial are working their way out mid of the back of that. Nowhere gets goosed through the corner of the wall though, down to 52, but Cassin is still there again. 4v2 for inSanity. No way is trying to make his way into a B, but guess what? There are going to be 3 players on the other side of this to try and delete, and there's already Cassin on car. That's his 3rd kill of the round. Vinny's been spotted out. 1 goosh. Haven't killed him yet. It's a bit whiffy, but they'll deal with it in the end, and it's another good pistol from inSanity.
Yeah, it is. Looked very solid. It is one of those where, as every single inSanity round gets put on the board, we once again just keep saying, surely like it's going to end at some point, right? You know, Imperial are surely going to take this. It's getting to the point where, in my mind, I'm starting to think that maybe it's just one of those really big off days for this Imperial side. I don't know what we're witnessing at the moment. Imperial won't have a buy-in towards the next very few upgraded pistols, but they're not expecting a hell of a lot.
Oh, that nade actually just takes Vinny straight out. Carson is there to get a couple more as well, you'd think. There we go. And another. He's got 4. He wants the anti-eco ace. Can he do it? Let's try with the PT50. There we go. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, 6 grand in the pocket for him as well. You'll take that every day of the week. And of course, they can just play this round as a super simple bonus buy. They do not have to reinvest into kind of anything if they don't want to. I mean, that's the kind of beautiful thing about it. But some teams do like to, right? Which is another thing. Some teams like to actually say, right, we've got leftover money, so let's actually have a bit of a buy here, which is actually what we've seen. Farson, he dropped over an orb here, so we've got Cassin on the orb, a couple of M4s, a couple of MP9s. So it's a bit of a mixture where we've got some level of buy, but we've also got decent money left in reserves, and I don't think they were expecting that. They were expecting MP9s. That's where that investment, which can be seen as an over-investment, pays off in dividends, and SHZ gets one for free as well.
Imperial lose the opening gun round to the bonus buy. That'd be pretty wild. Farston's now got that Galil like you brought up. Is upgraded. SHZ's got his. Cassin on the AWP is ready and ready to go. We saw how good he was on Inferno. We'll break that smoke open on short. Looking to do more with it, but no way is boosted on the top of it. Will Cassin be ready for that? He spots it out. Well played. I realise this is a possibility, and he's still got a teammate to activate in that goose position. And so often that goose position feels like it goes a little bit overlooked. He's always good for a 1-for-1. Flash high. No peek yet, and no way is creeping up. And actually, he's letting that goose position get properly checked because of that smoke. So it's going to need to be Cassin. He does find a Senshi. 4v2. No way needs to creep around the smoke and do even more damage, you would think. It's a late play from Try, though. Out long. Didn't see the CT guy. Why did you get your knife out, bro? Get your gun out. Why are you pulling your knife out, running up long when there are 2-player CT? Imperial, please. Please.
Oh, man. What are we witnessing? What is happening, Trav, in this game? None of it is making sense. I mean, I like this, right? Because, you know, for Phelps, he just gets completely sidelined by the fact that there's an open play. It's just not expected, but, you know, kill here and then, yeah, knife out after. Well, I'm assuming the radar should have spotted the player in CT. I mean, he'd come around that corner, but, I mean, ultimately, who cares, right? What are Imperial doing? I think is the main thing that we're discussing. Like nines, good lineup, great lineup. Delboni, as I said, beautiful stuff.
inSanity is going to have their bank be built up so nicely as well. Imperial kind of letting it happen. Just running out long there through that smoke. Not really much thoughts in terms of this anti-eco round. And he will now rush his way up. Cassin, first bad miss of the day, but he does respond. And he does well to find that one kill, but now Senshi's been spotted out. 50-50 is drawn. It's a bit shaky, but he gets it. And he's up to 7-1. Early doors on Dust 2. 4-0 start. Guns will finally come out again. And an early tack pause this time, Neo. That's what you wanted on map 1.
Yeah, thank God. Understanding that we definitely do not want to let things just drift away completely out of the possibilities as we saw in towards that first map where it was, you know, we were quarter attack pause, 6th round, so it was 5-0 down. And granted, they did find success straight off the back of the attack pause. So yeah, I guess a little earlier here, but hey, inSanity, they're probably as sort of perplexed maybe as we are, where we're just saying, you know, what is happening at the moment? It's been a crazy time, that's for sure. And for all the wrong reasons for Imperial. But inSanity, they're doing all that we can ask of them. One round at a time. Simply put, just keep taking the slight advantages bit by bit and don't fall into any of the traps of Imperial. And so far, so good. I mean, as this game continues, all the pressure does go towards Imperial. Cassin gets his before he falls, so maybe arguably job done.
Yeah, I always feel like you want more than one with the AWP, but they've got a big bank built up, so it might even be saved, or you can just rebuy it anyway. They all feel like he probably should have got that kill a little bit sooner. It wasn't particularly clean. Could have saved his teammate. Out mid-doors, though, and IDK does well to react, considering he was being swarmed by 2. No way will take his trade, though. Second of the round. 3v3. So the smoke on long doors. Bomb waiting outside of it. Now shifting around, and that's a really important opening by Senshi. Dilboni will walk into that one. So finally they have an advantage. It's a question of now of where do they go together. They have enough utility to make a good decision here. They've got 1 smoke, 3 mollies still.
Yeah, we're just not under pressure is the main thing. And that's been the issue, is that they've just been making decisions. And they weren't kind of forced to. This is better. They hold, they wait. And the fights come to them. Last man, SHZ, over towards A. Looks like it's going to be a CT smoke coming down, which can just give them the chance of going towards B for free. And that's what they'll do. So, Red very, very effectively I think Fresh, like you said, he might even just opt for a very simple save here.
Yeah, wrong side of the map. One will go down in time. This will be Imperial's first round, and most likely with 3 alive as well. It's something to build on. They have been somewhat nowhere in this game overall. Lots of mistakes being made. Lots of things you wouldn't come to expect from a team like Imperial. And maybe that is why we've seen them fall to a couple of these sort of lesser Brazilian teams lately. They did find a way to get one over Pain. But before they went to IEM Rio, of course, they lost one to MIBR, they lost to BO3 to Red Canids, even lost a couple of games to Sharks and Fluxo. Question remains really where Imperial really stand in sort of the tier of Brazilian Counter-Strike at the moment. I will say, obviously, we know Furia and Pain that sort of step above. But I'm wondering whether Imperial are even third at this point with how good Red Canids have been and MIBR now with Lukowski.
It is true. It is very true. It's good that, though, Imperial call attack pause and then immediately get around off the back of it. It's actually one where they play very disciplined and they do recover that round, I think, quite effectively. So, well played. Should be some sort of a buy to work with. Yeah, for inSanity, we do get that. Paddy going to go towards lower, but as I said, going to get caught out towards long.
They've not been able to streak rounds together. Let's see if they can finally begin with that now. IDK and Cassin actually quite like what they're doing here, considering they've already lost the opening kill. But it's obviously so hard to clear the upper angle that No Way is on right now. You've got to look straight up, and yeah, it's always going to be a headshot. Cassin, the only thing that Cassin can hit there is a leg shot, of course, as well. He actually will get taken out by Farsin, but No Way was 1 HP. Essentially, he was always going to get the kill. So they've got a 4v2. Delboni and Cassin have still got some control around the middle of the map, but that's Delboni. Cassin's found Vinny as well. 2v2. Bomber's going back through spawn to get toward B, but if Cassin gets this kill, it's back into an advantage for the CT side. Try has got a clutch. He might not be expecting Delboni just to peek him straight up, and it's a free little burst by Delboni. What is that? How have they lost that round so easily?
What's going on, Cassin? 1 by 1, they peek him, and he's like, thank you very much. I will take these stats all the way to the bank and back. How have we lost that round? It was a 5v3, and we've just completely fallen apart. I mean, arguably, even being a 2 versus 4 is worse that they lost it, but just such a simple round for Delboni and Cassin to collect those kills 1 by 1, and I don't know, it's classic Imperial in this series. I mean, what are we getting? We just keep questioning what's going on.
I know, like, it's not like they're playing against Pain or MIBR, like, or Red Canids, to be fair. Like, I think all 3 of those I've seen Imperial get beaten by, and convincingly, at least at some point during those roster sort of iterations of both these 2 teams. This one makes no sense, because inSanity, you know, got to preface this by saying they've got 4, and arguably all 5. Cassin is only 22, but he's got experience from playing in that Pain system. You know, all 5 players have got very storied histories in Brazilian Counter-Strike. They date back to like 2016, 2018, playing in teams. They're all very experienced. They know what they're doing, but their form has just been kind of all over the place. You could argue that maybe they have prepared basically hugely, because this is their biggest event to sort of end off the year almost, because they obviously really want that Pro League. I think are the America's RMR? I'll have to double check. But, you know, I think it's kind of wild that Imperial are looking so rough against them. No Way down to 31 here. Delboni's already taken Phelps. They're going to try and crouch past the angle. Cassin may have missed, but he's seen the attempt to cross. In the end, No Way will just peek straight into it. There's no utility to help out because they ain't got any. And Try and Vinny will probably, maybe for some kills, but at the same time, save.
So simple, so effective, so easy for this side. Really enjoying what I'm seeing. Vinny, he'll get one, but it's just them trying to desperately save at the tail end here. And yeah, Cassin not looking to lose his ult for nothing. I don't know. It is a very, very weird situation that we're in. Even if we are talking about kind of how well inSanity are playing and I guess the stories behind those guys a bit, I'm still asking so many questions, just saying, what is actually going wrong here? Because things have got to change sort of sooner rather than later at this sort of a rate. It's a very, very worrying display from Imperial. Just very concerning. I can give them the benefit of the doubt bombing out dead last in towards IM Rio because they weren't even meant to be there. But, if they're coming towards Challenger League playoffs and lose to inSanity, no offense, but of all teams, right? They're currently ranked, 83rd in the world compared to Imperial, who are 28th. That would be not my expectation, that's for sure.
Pretty wild. This is a really solid CT Dust 2 as well for inSanity. Right. Can we get something going here? We've still got those 2 saved weapons. We've got enough util, but only just to go for the play they want to go for. They've got a molly and 2 smokes with a minute to go. Vinny will use that molly to take some form of short control, but you have these smokes out in mid now to cross these angles. Actually, a little decent lurk smoke to get the Tech 9 up close to the B doors. IDK realizes what's going on though, and he stops. No way. So we can even get into the site. There'll be some damage through those smokes, but Cassin has to deliver, and he's in a pretty stuck position right now. Has to worry about tunnels too, but thankfully he's got teammate support. Try can't deal with Farsin top mid. And Vinny, he's gonna get flanked by Farsin as well. 8 on the board. Cassin's 12 and 2. Everything is going swimmingly, and Imperial, well, they're sinking.
Another pause to be called. 7-1 at scoreline. Brazilians don't love, but inSanity are loving it at the moment. It's just so easy. I want to give the credit where credit's due and say that inSanity have read into this, but I really just think that 99% of this is just down to how poorly Imperial are playing.
Well, I mean, I don't know, obviously it's not confirmed, there's a small chance we might get an inSanity interview at the end of the game, right? I'd actually really love to hear from one of the players to see what they think about what the hell they're obviously nowhere near they haven't won this game. They're nowhere near the finish line. Like, this 7-1 could turn into a 7-5 very easily. It has happened before. And then the game could spiral considering the win rates of Imperial the next 2 maps. But, like, I'd love to hear from them if they do win, like, what they just think about this matchup, because it's been so strange.
Yes, no, you're absolutely spot on. It has been so hard. But not what I'm seeing. Spam. Oh, yeah. SHZ will catch try, and Phelps is barely alive. Just another bad start to the round. Oh, my God. What are we witnessing here? I mean, I think if inSanity get 8, if they get 8 in this first half, it could already start to potentially be curtains.
Yeah. Obviously, Dust 2 for inSanity is not exactly one of their best maps, but it's one they play a little bit, and it's, I guess you could say, second, third best map. So it's just, the thing is just it's not at the level we've seen Imperial play against. Like, they've beaten Dusty Roots Case and Dusty Roots twice actually, inSanity. So it's not like they've got the results to really back it up, even though it's not one of their awful maps. Delboni will always trade that one. Well done. Desenchi gets his kill again. Really has been trying his best this game, Desenchi, but not been getting much reward. No way. Needs a 1v3, and he doesn't even have the bomb. It is lost on long. They are converging toward that bomb, not realizing where No Way is. Oh, 4x3 moment. Didn't see the arm. And Farston has taken that one as well. It's 8-1. Another half investment with probably Galil's 2 AKs maybe for Imperial. They probably just will fully invest at this point. They're too far behind. This is, well, it is inSanity.
It is. That's exactly the prime word for it. One of the games of all time, and definitely not the way that I expected it. 8-2-1. Another low buy. Lowish buy, I guess. What are we witnessing here is I'm just baffled by each and every round that we're getting. That was long. Very simple fights. This is baffling what we're seeing. They're not even competing Not even competing. inSanity are making this look so easy. So easy. 8-1. And we now got a Galil Deagle and a Tech 9.
Crazy, man. Like, obviously there'll be people out there who'll question this result for reasons which I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, but it's Imperial, dude. Like, it's just not the case. Like, it's a prestigious org with prestigious players and well-known individuals on the team. That is not what's going on here. They're just getting completely outplayed, and they look lost. It's so strange.
I think they're mentally super checked out here as well. I think they're really tilted.
Yeah.
Like, you can just see the way they're actually playing rounds as well. They're so isolated. Every single fight, no one's ready for each other. There's no synergy, and I think, you know, this might be one of those where it's just kind of, you know, we're seeing like little things, like for example, where there's no supporting utility, or it feels like there's no real game plan. There's no mid-round. I think a lot of this comes down to just tilt, where they're just saying, right, let's just hope somebody can get 1 or 2 kills to open things up. Like that for try. There's the first. You'll take that all day.
Finally, they get a spawn on try and say, let's go peek tunnels. It works. They have a 5v4. They've lost a 4v2 already in this game. Making their way up short. Delboni, this is a nice off angle if that smoke gets refreshed at some point. And they have none left. So he's going to have to move. Phelps is 1-10, bless him. Not had a good game. Delboni looking to swing. Oh, he knows what's coming. Utility on the way. Great flash. And he gets 2 from it. That is exactly what he needed. Back into a 3v3. Still a minute to go. Do Imperial want to go on this? I think they probably don't just yet, because Vinny can recover the bomb. Oh, he's looking to maybe play around the smoke though. He won't be getting a second player, or will he? That is a great recovery. And a great shot from Vinny. Another advantage to work with. We're looking into a B as well. inSanitY should go down though. Fastin's ready for it. Try and Vinny in this 2v2. Bomb can be picked up on try. But IDK is still long, and he's spotted Vinny trying to work his way up. That flash is whiffed though, and now they only have the flashes on Fastin, and he's not close enough to help out. So it will be an afterplant.
Okay, we'll take that. Not an easy retake. Try. He's semi-start. Oh, this shot. That's where the short player has to pounce. But it doesn't work out. So Vinny, he's doing well in this round. Now tucks in towards Elevator. IDK, surely unwinnable. And it will be. Try sees it off. Imperial find a second. And I think it's just a huge sigh of relief from what is still remaining to be an incredibly weird game.
There's a chance that even 3 might not be enough. inSanitY is still well in control. They've got money as well. It's not like the rounds have been really close as we've gone through here. So it's not like they're broken economy for the final round of the half. They're absolutely fine. Right. Can we get this 3 that Imperial so desperately needs? inSanitY will be heard charging his way up short. Cassin is here, and it's a leg shot. It is a dry swing for inSanitY up short, trying something fast. Again, looking a little bit vaguely reckless. And he'll be given the AWP now. Of course, on that low HP.
All right. No. I stayed Vinny. Lot of damage there, it has to be said. Oh, yeah, and a very easy angle for Cassin. A lot of damage he's dealt in towards this round. Of course, inSanitY, he only 15 points of HP. Here's the play now through the smoke.
Oh,
he gets
my
another
God.
leg. I can't believe it. Look at this setup in towards window as well. It's really nice. Phelps tries to make a move through. They shut them down. The flash is good. There's no way. Pops himself in, but he is a dead man. Surely tapping away, looking for a fight. Tagged down again and seen off. That's the half. 10-2. What are we seeing? inSanitY from the namesake. That'll be the half. We'll see you after the break.
We thought when we came into this best of 3 that Imperial will give us a quick night. inSanity are giving us a quick night on broadcast. I can't quite believe that. They're 10-2 up going into Teesside Dust 2. And with how they're playing, this one should be over pretty quickly. Imperial, can they switch on? Because I really think they looked a bit mentally checked out.
Yeah, one of the games of all time so far. Just not anything of what we expected. It's been so wild for the wrong reasons. But like we said, sort of, I guess credit where credit's due when it comes down to inSanity just making the best of the situation that they're in and the awkwardness that we're seeing. Out from Imperial. No way going to drop a smoke on towards the site. Potentially this might prompt inSanity's kind of dip away here, but they're not actually committing fully to this long play. They're just pausing.
Yeah, I think they realise that, No Way has dropped that smoke very early on. So they can just wait for it to fade. There's no reason to push up and let No Way play around it. Just let it fade and then go for the fights. But of course, doing that means that the rotations can come through pretty quickly. And now we're working our way up. And they will get removed. SHZ takes that kill. Phelps finally gets a second of the game. But there's SHZ and Delboni making it look easy. Try is stuck in elevator. SHZ on the angle. Actually doesn't realise that Try can just peek in. That's a bit awkward. But Cassin, that's a lovely tap with the P250. All you need to get caught out there. Vinny on new box. Removed from new box. 11-2 inSanity, bro. What on earth?
Okay. 11-2. Kind of ridiculous. Pretty insane for the most part. What we're witnessing. But this is now them 2 rounds away from taking this series in one of the most dominant fashions we've kind of seen all season. Very wild to say the least. We do see that force fight. Let's see what happens. Try. Down he goes. All ready to start we want to see against the force buy. And that flash did absolutely nothing. Forcing, that was so easy for him.
Okay, something from No Way. Gets 2-1 digs. But unfortunately, there's still a man down. Eventually is now forced, of course, to go aggressive. But Delboni is keeping a close eye on it. Realising that he could have made his way through. And I don't think that timing is going to work out. It's a beautiful tap. He's 16-5, by the way, alongside Cassin 16-4. Combined, they're 32-9. I can do some form of math sometimes. And that's just absolutely crazy. Vinny's on the wrong side of the map with the 5-7. inSanity are going to be 10 rounds ahead. And going through to that upper bracket, that next round matchup against Pain. You think Pain will take that one with how good they've been in this season thus far. Imperial will drop down to the lower. Sharks, by the way, just incidentally, are did get a bye through the lower bracket. Case, I think, had to forfeit, if I'm not mistaken. So they're through the lower bracket round 1 already.
Looks like it. I wonder why.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure the info on that one.
No, match page doesn't even say. Who knows?
Unlucky.
Who knows?
Unlucky for Case.
I'll do a little digging. While we're on match
it,
point. See if the old Casa boys have maybe made a tweet about it.
Could be. Any other games, of course, going on as well. Just update you guys quickly. Bestia Red Cannons, that is a repeat of that best of 5 CBCS finals that I mentioned. Red Cannons are a map up, a Bestia 5-4 up in map 2. And in the lower bracket, of course, Odic and Crew are going at it. Odic are probably on the edge of taking that one comfortably. Finally, something working here for Imperial with the FAMASs and the MP9s. Essentially will hop his way, or Scarper his way, through mid-doors. Dead close, though. Should get that kill, and does. And now he knows he's got one more on a plate. That's 3. And Desenshi needs a 1v2 to save this game. He's seen Delboni. He's heard Delboni go toward the A side of the map. That Molotov, though, will block his path through to help. And they should know that Scout has got 1 tag on SHZ. Jump shots are a possibility. He's already got a bit further up than perhaps they're expecting, but SHZ checks it, and I can't quite believe what I'm saying. It's 13-6, 13-2 for inSanity. That's the scoreline we thought Imperial might get. It's inSanity's day.
What a performance. What a performance from them. What a showing. And absolutely deserved as well. Pulled no punches. Looked great all the way throughout this series. And it left us, obviously, with a hell of a lot of question marks about what went wrong for Imperial here. You know, I'm not 100% sure if we'll get that interview, but if we do, it will be one of those really interesting conversations to talk about, like, you know, for inSanity, what do they think went wrong? Because it feels kind of quite inexplainable for us. There doesn't seem to be a natural answer of why things were so shaky over towards Imperial. But again, credit to inSanity. The opportunity arose and they took it. They didn't fluff their lines kind of when it mattered most. If Imperial are having an off day, punish them. Don't pull your punches and showcase what you've got to work with. So yeah, a real credit to inSanity. I think they looked really good, even though obviously that was a very weird showing from Imperial. But inSanity made the most of what was in front of them. That's actually all you can ask of them. This is the team you're dealt with. These are the cards you're dealt, and you shone. So fair play. Essentially, yeah, not a great game in towards map number 2. He had an okay map number 1. He was the only one who went positive, but yeah, woeful in towards map number 2. 6-13, less than 30 ADR, and a 0.46 KD. My kind of numbers right there, and it's not what you want to see.
Yeah, there's so many things that make this result make no sense. All of inSanity's previous results, who they've lost to in those previous results. Imperial, like, another factor is they haven't even come off like a big event recently. Like IEM Rio is literally a tournament in their home country, which they were a last-minute call-up to anyway. Which you wouldn't expect too much of them, but they actually look decent against Complexity in that sort of elimination best of 3, right? They come back after being eliminated. They play some ECL games. They go pretty well. Like, they take a map off of Pain in overtime. That was pretty decent. They easily beat Solid, like we know they should. Today, absolutely nowhere. And there were signs on Inferno that they were going to bring it back. There were some really good moments on Inferno. I know it was a 13-6, but there was a couple of rounds where their teamwork was a lot better. You know, they were playing off each other in Banana really well. The utility was looking a lot better. But I can't quite believe it that they just couldn't string rounds together, that there was only flashes in the pan. And Dust 2, it wasn't even a flash in the pan. The cooker never started.
Yes, exactly. Super concerning, worrying showing, but you know, a credit has to be given where it's due towards inSanity. And you know, I think for Imperial, the good thing is at the end of the road for them, right? Of course, they'll just drop into towards that lower bracket. I think even right in saying it's against Sharks, right? Because of that forfeit or that forfeit win against Casa. So I think they're going to be facing off against Sharks. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but we'll get confirmation. But they do drop in towards the lower bracket, which is the main thing in that sense. So it's one of either Sharks or the winner of Odic versus Crew. And yeah, very weird display, interesting display, but credit to inSanity. They move forward on towards the next stage. They will be taking on they'll be taking on Pain, I'll say. Yeah. Very tough game, as we said. Pain had a really good regular season, so we'll have to see how that one pans out. But that is us done and dusted here for ECL, may I say, South America. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. It's been a weird game. We're still sort of recovering from it. I'm sure you guys are too. There's some North American Counter-Strike coming up relatively soon. I think it's actually a couple of hours because that one was so quick. But go and check out, of course, ESL socials and HTV, and you can find out when that one is if you want a little bit more Counter-Strike in your life. But for myself and Trev, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and until next time, take care.